Welcome to my brand new series. Step into the heart of Northumberland's countryside with me, Simulation for the Nation, where several generations of our family have farmed these fields for decades, passing down their knowledge across the rich tapestry of rural life from one generation to the next. Join us on this journey as we drive forward and navigate the challenges of modern farming. We'll bring you all the action, all the drama, and all the insights along the way. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my farming life. And what a day to be welcoming you onto my farm. It's a beautiful June day. The sun is shining and we're going to get stuck on into a few different things today. But before we do that, welcome. Here we are. This is one of our two farms that we have in the family at the moment. There are three across all of the uncles and my family. However, they are only two of them are in our control right now. But welcome to Moor Farm. This is a beef farm, sheep farm primarily. We do have arable on here as well. We currently finish beef cattle. We have Angus cattle down here, and we've taken a lot of calves. We also breed our own as well, but we take on a lot of calves and finish them off to hit your supermarket shelves. And yeah, so we have around about 100 down here. And we have enough sheep to be a nuisance. And they're all tucked away down here. There's about 150 here. And there's plenty more over at the other farm as well, but they just keep on top of some of the grass here too. But they're looking pretty good. And yeah, like I say, beautiful day. We are going to do a few jobs today. We're going to take one of our workhorses up to the second farm. We're going to drop that tanker off there and pick up the mower actually today, which will be good. But yeah, otherwise everything is good. It is a time of the year where we're in between major jobs really. For example, we have our silage in. We got a contractor to come in and lift the silage for us. That's all done, and we're waiting. It's not as much as we would like to have seen, unfortunately, but the wasn't great growing conditions before first cut. Good news though, however, is the second cut is exploding, so that's gonna be really, really good. This is one of our fields that we'll get into fairly shortly. Over the course of the next few episodes, we'll give you a bit of a tour around some of the machinery that we have, and we'll be using various different bits and pieces, and some bits you can see around here. But that being said, a little bit of an overview there. Really, we do like to use we hold on to our tractors. We like to use our old machines, but then the key things are the implements on the back. Something that I was always told was that it's the implements on the back that make you your money. So we like to keep those nice and updated and refreshed where we can, but we try and hold on to our tractors for as long as possible. These ones don't owe us a single thing. They are in great nick, easy to maintain and update where you need to, and they don't have too many electronical issues that may go wrong. It's all mechanical still, and that's the theme for a lot of our tractors. Now, as we continue to go, and you know, there's projects in the long-term pipeline that might change our vision there a little bit, but for right now, that's not going to be a thing, and we will be keeping it as we are. So we're going to jump on into the Ford. This is a lovely little workhorse actually. Never skips a beat. Always so reliable for us here, so love to see it. And we'll just get ourselves into gear now. Like I say, we're going to go and take a little bit of a drive, and we'll go and have a look at some of the other farm and see what's going on up there before we're actually going to do a bit of mowing up there today, and we'll get ourselves going. But a little bit about the farm. There are 4 of us working the farm at the moment. There's myself, obviously. There is my dad. I have my uncle and my cousin as well. So they predominantly work up at the other end. And then my dad and I were down here, but that can change. We do move around. There's no it's a joint business here, so we don't stick to our own farms there. We work where the work's needed to be done, and we'll take it from there. But ultimately, it's a joint effort. Now, like I say, there is a third farm that's currently being rented out by my other uncle there, and when there is talk that whenever that lease expires, which is looking to be about a year and a half time, whenever that does expire, we'll review our business practice and see. And we've made a few changes in recent acquisitions of machinery to potentially accommodate that should we need to. So without saying too much more there, you'll probably see what that looks like actually over the course of the next couple of videos, but we'll take you along for that ride. We are going to be bringing in my dad, uncle, and cousin into some of these videos for conversations as well. They'll be around and about, and I think my dad's currently up at the other place now anyway. I'm not sure what he's doing up there, but we'll find out when we get there. It's not too far of a drive, about 5 miles-ish, give or take, so it's not too bad. A nice little jaunt up in the Ford. We do a lot of driving backwards and forwards between the two. That is the one thing about the geographical location of our farms. It's unavoidable, frankly. It's something we just have to do, and then we will tackle that. So it's Ideally, some of our machines would be great if they could be a little bit more rapid on the road there. We only have one machine with a 40k box. The rest of them are all in the 30s, but you know, there's a significant investment tied into that increase, so we will see. This is the local village of Bellum. We do have quite a lot of bits and pieces tied into this village in terms of trade, so we're in and out here quite a lot. Spend far too much money on bits and pieces in that store, that's for sure. But yeah, nice quiet village. We work all the way around the outskirts of it. The farm that my uncle owns that is leased is currently just as that one over there. It's an arable farm really, so it's in close proximity should we ever get to that stage, but we'll be like I say, that's a long-term project. We have across the land down at this end here, we're looking in the region of about 200 acres, and then over up at the second farm that we're heading up to there now, South Healey, there's about another 200 acres there as well. So predominantly there's not too much arable work to keep us all going. I typically look after a lot of that these days, ever since I came back from school. And my cousin is big into his livestock work as well, so he spends a lot of time doing that, and my uncle and my dad do a little bit of whatever they need. That's the current plan, the work around there, and that just keeps us all going. I am thinking, and I'm trying to angle it with the committee, as I call them, which is all of those aforementioned relatives, that it's probably a good time for us to start thinking about branching out a little bit where we can. We have the machinery that we can do a lot of our own, with the exception of silage. We're very self-sufficient. We do wrap silage bales, but we don't do pit silage work because of the sheer cost of resources to do such a project. But we could quite easily do a bit of contract work here and there. There's a lot of land around this area, as you'll see, and it's an opportunity for us to maybe look into that as well. So we will, we're going to explore that opportunity a little bit more and see if anything comes up. Now this is Netherton, lovely little quaint village here. Not too many houses, a lot of old barn conversions in and around here as well, but very, very nice. We do try to avoid coming through here with anything too big, because as you can see, the road is quite tight. But we did, for this reason, as we noticed the trend in machines getting bigger and bigger there, we did actually install a farm track, which was an old estate track that we expanded, so you can get large equipment around the village without coming through it. But we're going to come up through here, over the little humpback bridge, and into South Healey we go. Nice long track away. Now this ford does flood quite often, so it's something to have to see. Really, like I say, that does help having that other route in though, because that bypasses the river as well. And in we go. So a lot of grassland around here as well. The main fields around the farm are predominantly grass. We are trying a few new crops in certain places. We will be walking through those decisions in a different video there where we can. Ooh, get up there. There you go. We've got a bowser full of water on the back here, which is why it's a bit sluggish. But what we'll do is bring some water up to the sheep here, because for some reason the water pipe's broken up here. So we just need to get this all filled up and make sure we're looking okay. That's a job for uncle and cousin to look into, I think. And then up here again, so you'll see we've got cattle up here again. There's his truck. I refer to Dad as Bungle. Don't ask why, it's a long outstanding name. So Bungle's here. We'll go and have a chat with him very shortly. There you go. Yeah, this is the pit that we were really suffering on from first cut. Grassland around here just did not grow well enough through the early spring before we cut it. But like I say, everything has grown gangbusters since then, so we should be in a good position to get a good amount of silage bales off the back of this as well. So that's what we're going to start with today. It is June still, so we'll get this knocked down where we can. Probably starting with some of the ground up here before we then think about getting some hay done later in the summer. But for right now, let's give these demons a little bit of water here. Keep them going. And then we're all set. Probably just drop this Bowser off here as well, actually, for now, because I don't think we need it. And I need to take the mower away with me anyway. Alright then. Lovely stuff. There's a good looking flock of sheep up here. We're looking at about, there's a little bit more up here, about 200 up here, give or take. So all in all, we have enough to be a nuisance, and they do okay for us. It's mainly just it's not a main flock or main line of income there, but it is supplementary for sure. We do have beef cattle up here as well. We have a cross up here of Limousine and Angus, and the idea is that we breed both Limousine and Limousine cross up here as well, so they're doing okay. And what we'll do with this lot up here is we do bring in beef cattle as well to finish. They'll be coming in early autumn is the plan, I do believe, usually, and then we can finish them off there and start to put them into the food chain somewhere around November, December through till right through till February. We like to try and see out 100 calves a year if we can, but you know, various factors have to come into play with that one. But we're just going to stop this, drop this tanker off in here. That stockyard that we will be inevitably and eventually, hopefully, filling up with silage bales rather than trailers. And around the corner we go. So that's going to be perfect. We'll just drop this here for now. It's likely going to move a few times anyway, but we'll have to get this all cleared out in the next few days, because ideally this will all be full of bales. One would hope. The couple of fields around here, you can see everything you can see here belongs to us. This is our ground that we farm. This is obviously a bit of a grass field there. It's usually for grazing, but there's such a crop of grass on there now. It has kind of escaped any livestock, so we'll probably just get ourselves into there and make sure that's all looking good. Take a knock the top off that, but we will see. Now I'm going to eventually stick the mower onto here, but I think what we'll go and do is just have a chat with the old man, go and see where Bungle is, and see what's going on. Park this out here for now. He said he was up here somewhere. His truck's here, so he's doing something. Lord knows what that is or where he is. Bungle, where are you? Are you here? Hello, son. I am in here. Ah, there you are. What are you getting up to? Not much, just tinkering a little bit, waiting for your uncle to get back. Oh yeah, what you got planned? Well, we've got to start reviewing the plan for the Angus calves to arrive in a few months, you know. I was just actually saying about that. I'm recording today. We're back on with on the YouTube thing. Oh yeah, that's happening, is it? All right. Well, cracking stuff. What's happening with the Ford? What are you doing? Can I take this, or are you using it? No, I'm just going to finish up servicing it whilst we wait. There's a few more filters to go on. And we've got a bit of a problem with the air conditioning in here as well. Oh, well, I didn't notice that, but okay. Oh, well, cracking. What are you doing up here? Well, I need to come up and get the mower. I've just dropped off the water tanker for the sheep. And I'm going to put the mower on the back whilst there's not much else going on. And probably start knocking a bit of grass down, I think. Get going with that. Can't get on with anything else at the moment, I suppose. And the forecast doesn't look too bad. So we'll get cracking along with that one and probably knock a few acres down. You're not wrong. Probably best before the barley's fit, I suppose. Well, I was going to take this, but see, now you're still tinkering. And it's not quite ready. I think I'll probably just take the 78 then and get going with that and go and hook the mowers on. I reckon I probably best get going with it. Righto. You're starting up here or down at the moor? No, we'll probably start up here. I think we'll just go down towards the village there and behind the woods and get going over there, I reckon. Take all that down in those smaller fields, and then we'll see what we're looking like. At least that way we can get the yard all stacked up as well, and then we'll ship everything down to more farm and get going over there. Grand. You better get cracking then. I'll see you later. All right. Have fun. There's Bungle. Having a great day. All right. So, like I say, he and my uncle are going to get cracking along. They've got to start looking into cattle moving records and get everything shipped up ready for that, and decide who and how they're going to and how much they're going to buy in terms of the new stock. So this is one of our bigger workhorses, if you like. It's a Massey 3125. I blooming love this tractor. It's an absolute beast. There's a lot of the heavier cultivation work, and it's just ultimately a very nice machine to drive. So unfortunately, we're not going to use it today. It's a little bit, if you're doing small fields and a lot of quick turns, I find it a little bit numb on the mower there, so I'll use the smaller tractor for that. We'll just ship it out of the way for now. You'll have seen one of our other tractors. The fastest tractor we have in the fleet right now is the Ford 7740 that Bungle's doing something with, keeping himself entertained. So it'll leave us with this because the other machine is down at more farming. That's on the feeder wagon. But yeah, we will get a bit more on the back here. As you can see, you know, we have relatively new equipment that we on the back of our tractors there, and we always prioritize the equipment that we use frequently. So a lot of grass work equipment there, some of the cultivation equipment as well. But mower is, by our standards, not very old at all, and we try and look after all our equipment as well and keep it in good shape. Stick it all together. Our most recent acquisition though was the combine, and that wasn't really out of choice. It was a little bit forced in terms of we used to have a TX34, and that met its end really. It was just beyond any economical repair in terms of old age and a lot of issues. So we just took the plunge. This one is from Germany and it's in great nick actually, and it was probably a little bit cheaper for us to buy it over there and bring it across here than it was to actually just buy one on the used market over here. So that is there, and there's a chance that we will be using it this year, but there's a chance that for the first year, I don't know how many, I might be piloting the combine. So that could be quite fun, but I'm sure I'll have to fight off the old man for a little spell or two. He'll probably want to have a go, which is fine. All right, we're just gonna sneak our way out of here. Nice and easily done. So the farm here is a little bit larger than down at Moor Farm there in terms of acreage, but probably by about 50 acres or so. We actually just took on some more land recently, which is on the other side of the road that we just came in on. And it's actually just over the other side of those trees there. I took on about another 45 acres there. And there is the potential, if we want it, and this is something that Bungle and Uncle are going to be discussing there now. There's a satellite cattle yard there if we want it to use for storing of extra cattle. Now, we'd have to rent that again. It's something we could do, and we haven't done it yet. But you know, if we choose to do it, that'll give us a lot more space. So it's something we need to think about, and we'll have to see how that pans out. But it's certainly it's on the list of discussion points, because yeah, that could really improve options there for us. However, we'll just give him a beep. He'll have fun there, I'm sure. He likes tinkering. Give him some projects there, especially when the weather starts to turn a bit south and it's you know, a lot of wet days. He and Uncle will spend a lot of time in the workshop there. Oh well, that's gone disastrously wrong. Can't even go over the grid there for the first time. Now we did use this already once this year, so it's all been sharpened up and greased up after we used it for the first cut through there. We predominantly do our own mowing. Because we have the mower here, but then we have a contractor comes in to lift the grass, because yeah, the cost of having to do that and the trailers you need and the speed in which they can do it, it's pointless us trying really. But anyway, yeah, we'll get ourselves jumped on down. We're going to start with this little meadow down here in the trees, and then we're going to go through this. There's a couple of woodland tracks that we're going to take and that we can get ourselves through and away with. All right, so we're just going to try and squeeze our way through. Take it slowly. There you go. So yeah, a few of our fields that once upon a time they were arable fields, but like this paddock down here, really, you spend more time turning around the combine than they do anything else. So it's just better keep it into grass and we can get it knocked down fairly easily. Take a little bit of maneuvering to get into the field, but we will do it and then we're away. We'll be wrapping everything up here, like I say. The aim is that I do want to get a good strong second cut done across both farms before we then turn it onto hay. We'll probably look to do about 100 acres of hay as well, because we do, like I say, have quite a number of sheep to keep fed up over the winter months. From a cattle's perspective there, because we are finishing them there, their rations do change throughout the year. We'll be predominantly on a mixed silage based ration. We're going to try a few different things as well in terms of growing our own maize if we can get a suitable field for it. Certainly something that we want to try. So we can avoid having to buy in too many of our inputs there and really, you know, and increase the profit margins a little bit there where possible. Anyway, let's get this one knocked down. Shut that gate. This is not a very big field, so it shouldn't take us too long to do it all. But let's have a look, see how we get on here, shall we? All right, and we are away and around. Let's get this first headland knocked out pretty quickly. You can see some of this grass has actually gone to head already, it looks like, so we could be a little bit late on this, but the good news is that the sun is shining whilst we're cutting this as well, so we should get some good quality grass off it in the end. But we'll just have to keep ourselves going and see how it all looks here. Not the biggest field, like I say, this is barely the size of a football pitch, but yeah, every little helps. We've got a few bales off here anyway, I'm sure. And that'd be nice to have this one done, and we can move on, get a few of the other bigger fields done as well, and see what that looks like. Like I say, moving forward there, we'll be bringing you along for the ride there, just to show you what we get up to as a family, how that's going to work for us with the four of us cracking along there, and the trials and tribulations that we may see, and you know, and hopefully bringing you up to speed with all of those different issues throughout the calendar year, really. Let me know if you have any questions around the farm, or is there anything in particular you want to see as we keep cracking along through this. But we'll try and bring you the highs and inevitably some of the lows. Lows probably caused by me, let's be honest. But yeah, we'll see. But right now all we can do is just keep cracking along. The weather's been good for us after what was frankly a miserable spring. And yeah, we can only run with that, really. All right, just like that. That's the first field pretty much done. This gate here is falling apart. We need to have a look at putting a new one on there. It's not staying on the hinges properly, and also the bottom rung of it's absolutely shattered. So we'll have to look at changing that where we can. Now let's just creep out of here, and we're gonna go straight up here. Nicely done. This is the slightly wider track that we put in. This was designed, or originally a forest road. There is still a sawmill, but it used to be a lot larger operation in the village, and this was a track for them. But we widened it out there with a bit more stone, because this is where we can take the combine up and down without having to go over that bridge that we came over and through the village itself. So this allows us just to be a little bit more friendly to the villagers, and also just a bit ease so we can access this land. And then we didn't always have this land down here. These few fields we've added on over time, but yeah, good little extra amount. 2 good fields there, and they are actually looking pretty good for some winter oats there. They'll be starting to turn very soon. And then we've got these grass fields here that we'll be sticking into today. So there's a few small paddocks around here. This is 5 ashes over the road there as well, but we're going to start in here, I reckon. And we'll get this all knocked down. It's probably going to stay on the deck there for about a depending upon the weather tomorrow, maybe 2 days before we come in to bale this all up as well. So that should be good when we're ready to go. And then color unfolded, lovely stuff. This one, grass is not quite as big on this one, but it is thick. It's got a very good thick sward to it, so that should be fine. It hasn't gone to head yet either, so we should see a really good increase. And then there's about 5 fields here that we'll get knocking along with, and then get this all taken care of there. We're going to continue to bring you along for the ride here. Like I say, we'll be back with you later on in the week, no doubt, when we bring you a few updates as well. But for right now, this is the end of the episode. This is the end of my farming life for the first introduction, really. Can't wait to bring you along for the ride to show you what else we're getting up to as well. If you have any questions, comments, or feedback, please do leave them down below. I've been Simulation for the Nation. Welcome to my farming life. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.